Good morning, everybody. It is another great day in South Carolina, and we are moving fast as we can on a lot of different issues, but one that keeps coming up that continues to be an issue is the cloud of ethics reform that has been over the state. And I think we have seen too many elected officials, rightly or wrongly, put under that ethics cloud, and so that has led to an erosion of the public trust. And with that, we felt like that this didn't need to be a focus on the problem of individual cases as much as this needed to be focused on the fact that something in general needed to be done. Our laws are too weak, they're too vague, and I think that's caused for us to have the inability to report. National studies continue to show South Carolina at the bottom when it comes to ethics. And I think that shows that there's a time where we can do something to fix it. I don't want to overstate this. This is not where we were 20 years ago. This is not Operation Lost Trust. But I also believe that the majority of people that come here, they come here to serve for all the right reasons. They come here wanting to follow the rules. But we shouldn't wait for another Operation Lost Trust to have this happen. We should be in front of it. We should make sure we're clarifying it, and we should make sure we clean it up as we go. The next crisis doesn't need to be one where we say we had to do this because something bad happened. It should be that we did this before something bad happened. I want to applaud both the House and the Senate caucuses for coming up with their own ethics groups. We want to have them continue on. They should continue working as they are and continue working on their reforms. Several weeks ago, I and Attorney General Alan Wilson went around and we both gave our thoughts on ethics and what should be done. But what we have seen is that the public is skeptical because they see these different groups and they see these different groups that have different agendas, and I think they're concerned about what that's going to mean. And so I'm going to try something different. I am announcing today by executive order the South Carolina Commission on Ethics Reform. And what we are going to do is have a group of people that are independent that are going to solve the issues at hand, to clarify what our ethics should be in this state, to make stronger the ethics laws that we have in place, and to take out any gray that we have within the system. Let me be clear. It's an independent commission. It is bipartisan. It is leaders from law enforcement, ethics, and media. It contains no one currently in elected office. It is led by two former attorney generals, one Republican, one Democrat. I appreciate General Henry McMaster and General Travis Medlock, who have agreed to co-chair this committee and put their time and their willingness to serve and get this done. I've also asked the chairman of each of the ethics committees in the House and Senate to put someone forward, and we've asked the Attorney General Alan Wilson to put someone forward as well. Legislators are ultimately going to have to vote on this. So they have to have buy-in. So by them having someone that they appointed as well will allow them to have someone to report back as to how this is getting done. I do want to make this extremely clear. I have not talked to any of the members that serve on this committee about what they think about our ethics situation, where they stand on the ethics situation now or in the past, or where they're going to go with it. It truly is the Citizens Committee. It truly is a committee of independent people, and we want their views and their experiences and their wisdom to guide the way on what they think is best for the people of South Carolina. I expect to have no involvement in this whatsoever. I think that only if asked by the commission to come and give information will I do that, but other than that, we are leaving them to do what they need to do. We want this done in a very short time period. You know, I am not a fan of commissions unless they prove results. So this commission has just around 90 days. We have given them until January 28th to come back with a report because we have said that this needs to be the year of ethics reform, and we want the legislature to have plenty of time so that we can pass a good ethics reform piece of legislation this year. I do want to run down the list of people because we don't have everybody with us today. As I said, the two co-chairs, we've got co-chairman Henry McMaster. He served as South Carolina's Attorney General from 2003 to 2011 and was appointed by President Ronald Reagan to serve as the United States Attorney. The other co-chair is Attorney General Travis Medlock. He served as Attorney General from 83 to 95. He previously served in the South Carolina Senate, and he previously served in the House. We have Bill Rogers, Executive Director of the South Carolina Press Association. We have John Simmons, who served as U.S. Attorney and was a member of the State Ethics Committee from 1993 to 1995. We have Susie McWilliams, Chairman of the South Carolina Ethics Commission from 2009 to 2010. We have Ben Haygood, a member of the South Carolina House of Representatives from 2002 to 2008. He was an Assistant U.S. Attorney from 1990 to 1997. We have Charles Bierbauer, Dean of the College of Mass Communications and Information Studies since it was created in 2002. We have Xavier Sparks, South Carolina Supreme Court Commission on Lawyer Conduct. We have Kelly Jackson, Solicitor of the Third Judicial Circuit from 1999 until 2010. We have Monica Key, Community Relations Manager and Senior Human Resources Representative at Bridgestone America. She was the appointment made by Chairman Roland Smith. Chairman Wes Hayes is making an appointment. He has not made his appointment to date, but we do expect that to come shortly. So what you will see is an executive order that puts together a reform with a date to be finished, with great people at the table that understand that their job is to strengthen our laws, to make South Carolina one of the strongest states when it comes to ethics reform, no longer one of the weakest. There is not a public official that sits on this committee. These are people who are experienced, have the wisdom to really get this done so that citizens can have just trust in what we're trying to do. So there's not a push and pull or grab on who's trying to do what. This is about the fact that we really want to be serious and get some true ethics reform done. So with that, I will take any questions, and the co-chairs will take any questions that you have, or any of the members standing behind me.
For starters, why January 28th? Why not before the session starts and really get this done?
I mean, I think it's asking a lot of this commission to do this in 90 days. So, I mean, 90 days is not that long. So January 28th, to me, I think we're asking a lot of them because they are going to be covering a wide array of issues. If you look at, whether it's conflicts of interest or whether it's income disclosures, all those different things, state claims, all of those things, there's a lot in there. So, whatever they choose to do, we just want to make sure they have the staff available. We want to make sure they have the time available. January 28th is just a couple weeks after session has started. And so it will allow us to immediately get those into the legislative committee so that they can look at what they've got and see what the results are.
Governor, isn't this essentially an admission that the current structure for monitoring ethics issues is deficient?
Yes, it is. I think that we have to acknowledge the fact that, we have weak ethics laws. They're very gray. They don't specify exactly where we should be. South Carolina has been at the bottom when it comes to ethics reform. Let's take it to the top. I have tried to do that in everything we've done, which is how do we make South Carolina shine and become the it state? We've done it with tourism, we've done it with jobs, let's do it with ethics. I think that, especially this year, when we've heard so much about ethics on so many different arrays of issues, it makes sense for us to address it quickly, give the public the trust they need so that we can move on.
For you, the co-chairs, do you see any obvious things that really stand out to you as this is low-hanging fruit, we need to take care of this right away, whether it's the fact that House Ethics Committee members are sitting in judgment of their fellow House members and the same with the Senate, or is there anything that you just immediately say, okay, we definitely have to take care of this and that should be easy to do?
I would say the immediate thing that we see is that we must have a system in place that gives the citizens of the state complete confidence in the work that goes on by their public officials. There are a lot of other items that have developed over the years in this state and others, but the main point is the citizens must have complete confidence. In 1990, we had a model ethics bill. It was viewed around the country as a model for the country. We need to do that again, and that's our goal.
Question for Mr. Medlock. You really, Attorney General, during Operation Last Trust, when the bribery and corruption was going on, it took the federal government to come in and take care of that. What did you learn from that maybe this Attorney General could look out for so the feds wouldn't have to come in behind you and do the work?
It's a great question.
We were simply a liaison with the U.S. Attorney and Operation Lost Trust and monitored to some extent those operations. They did a good job. We followed with the initiating the state grand jury system in South Carolina and organizing it under my administration, which goes after public corruption as well as other crimes. My successors, including General McMaster, have handled that grand jury beautifully.